we've had some really good quality fights, but what I really enjoy about when we argue is how we always manage to find a way to have the real conversation. It might take a day, a week, a month, or whatever, but we end up having the real conversation. And
Yeah.
when we end up having the real conversation, I learn from you. I understand. Something always grows in me as a result of talking to you. So I'm really excited for, the viewers or the listeners to this podcast to understand something about a philosophy that you've created that you call systemic win. So what I'd love to do is just give you a moment to tell us about it.
Okay. I think the most basic thing for me is if there's a conflict, it's only over when you've got somewhere better than you were before the conflict began. And most people don't, they get to, as long as it's not disastrous, they stop there. And that's crazy because if you haven't finished it in a place where you really want to continue relating to the other person, when you bump into them again, you're already in the wrong place. And years ago, I came across a thing called win-win. And something about it just didn't feel right to me. It would say sort of positive and things. And I thought the trouble is, it's all very well me and you winning, but what about everyone else? So people say, well, we've got to have win-win-win. And it's like, okay, but we're part of something. It's not just about people. It's about our environment. It's about our society. So I ended up calling it systemic win because it's an ugly word, but or phrase, but it actually describes the system of self, the system of other, of you, the system, the society, the system of our environments. They all need to win. And the opposite is systemic lose, where what I do makes you unhappy and irritated. You do something that makes me unhappy. We have a fight, and then we bring in other people to fight on our behalves, and you end up with a war. And it's so easy to go in the wrong direction and create systemic lose. And it's like we have so much creativity and so much ability to do positive things with each other. Why aren't we all aiming for systemic win?
What a great concept. And, it's guided me in a lot of what I've done and my work with the dialogue roadmap, because behind any kind of process or system, we're very good at coming up with systems and processes. I mean, whether they work or not, so I could write a thesis on that. But we're very good at doing that, but not so good these days at saying, well, what's the philosophy that we're drawing on? And so what I found with the dialogue roadmap and other processes like Marshall Rosenberg's work, nonviolent communication, is there's a philosophy behind that. So for me, systemic win has been a way of guiding me into what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Maybe you could expand on that for me, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, for me, philosophy is about how do I become wise? How do I live well? And it's like we can't not have a philosophy. And but the trouble is then everyone fights over what's the right philosophy. Doesn't matter. So what I wanted was something, it doesn't matter whether you're religious, whether you are non-religious, whether you are atheist, whether you're agnostic. It's like because people have been trying to do good and help each other make the world better forever. And we're still not doing a very good job of it. So it's like, what's something we can all agree about that we all want? And what's the opposite? What's something we all dislike? And I would say, well, they're actually systemic win and systemic lose. So, it's just a simple philosophy. How do we help each other live well?
So, I love that. And what's happening for me as you're speaking is I'm thinking of indigenous people that I've sat with, true indigenous culture about we're just moving parts in an ecosystem. We don't have command of this or that. We want control. We want to own stuff. But actually, at the end of the day, there's an ecosystem, the planet, and I'm just a moving part in it. And there's something in what you're saying about each of us playing our part to make things better. Am I
Yeah.
understanding that? Am I grasping it?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, as far as I can see, we've only really got two choices. Well, actually, we've got three. Am I trying to make it better? Am I trying to make it worse, or do I not care? You know, it just happens what happens.